From the KDLM studios, it's time for Hodge Podge, presented by Partnership for Health and airing on Lakes TV3.
Good morning. Welcome into Hodge Podge on this Tuesday, November 17th. I'm Joel Ketke. Today on Hodge Podge via our Zoom studios, we are joined by Thaddeus Helmer, who joins us this morning via our Zoom studios this morning. Thaddeus, good morning. Thanks for being with us today on Hodge Podge.
Good morning, and thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, not a problem. We got a couple of topics we're going to delve into today. Thaddeus, first off, coming up on Thursday is called Give to the Max Day. It's the day of giving here in Minnesota. Tell us a bit about that and how you're tied into this organization.
So Give to the Max Day, 19 November, this Thursday, is a day to where nonprofits, schools from around the state partake in an opportunity, I guess, for Minnesotans to donate to these organizations. The GiveMinnesota.org is the group that's started this way back in 2009, and it's been flourishing since then. And at the season that's upon us and the things that are occurring, a lot of people are definitely struggling. There's a lot of good organizations out there that are lending hands to these individuals and these groups. So Thursday, a great day, Give to the Max Day.
So Thaddeus, for folks who would like to do some donating, this all can be done online, correct?
Correct. So GiveMN.org is the website. You go out there, you can search by organizations. It's very simple. They got the donate buttons. They got a history of these organizations. It tells you what they're doing, their missions. It's a really good website, very intuitive, and would definitely help enhance the donating.
If I remember correctly, back to last year, I think it was a record day, a record amount of giving last year, was it not?
It was. If I remember right, it was close to, it was $14 million, I believe it was, that was donated through that, which is tremendous. I am a co-founder of my own foundation, the Stand By Me Foundation, and we'd be looking to hopefully get some donations to those means as well. And yes, it's one of those years where it's duly needed through various communities, through various efforts, and we need to show our support.
Thaddeus, let's talk about the Stand By Me Foundation. Tell me a little bit about your organization and how you got started with this.
Well, it's kind of a long story, but back in May of 2019, our oldest son, Vincent Helmer, was diagnosed with brain cancer. We were up at Sanford up in Fargo, talking to the social worker there out of Roger Maris Cancer Center. And we were applying for grants, looking for support, and we found there's a lot of loopholes, a lot of shortcomings from various foundations, and they're very age-specific, very cancer-specific in area, and we wanted to help. Since then, we started the foundation almost immediately, that July-August timeframe of 2019, and we've been moving forward. Our mission is we give funds to parents whose children are going through cancer. So a lot of times these parents are leaving their jobs, or single parents leaving the one job, the sole income they have. What we do is we take in donations and we pay their mortgages, pay their car payments, to try and mitigate some of those financial stressors in their lives when they got another stress that's above and beyond all, taking care of that child and being able to be with them. It's very important to us, and we want to ensure that continues for parents.
Thaddeus, I can only imagine that not only is this a stressful time for these parents without the pandemic, but during the pandemic, even more stressful.
Absolutely. Our first year, we helped roughly 13 families, which was a good goal for us. So far in November, we've helped 5. So in the first 15 days, 5 families, and that's a pretty substantial number. And it's college kids that are being diagnosed. It's families that are single parent families that can't work full time due to COVID. So there's other implications now that make it even harder on families to get through this. And COVID's one thing, but a kid with cancer, it's unbearable for a lot of families. And there's a lot of us families who don't have these burdens right now. And I think that we need to step up and try and, relieve some of those burdens on some of these families.
Thaddeus, for those of us who are not going through a situation with a family member, most notably a child who's been diagnosed with cancer, maybe take our audience a little bit how you and your family approached it, and when you got the word, and how the response and how you reacted after the fact, and how you've coped with the situation, given the fact that obviously this was something you were not prepared to deal with initially.
Wow. Coping was difficult. Vincent, he was a great kid. He had a lot of issues growing up. Finding out he had cancer, it changed my life immensely, and I know it for my wife and for my other two sons as well. It showed where your support is. I mean, with the community, they reached out above and beyond what I wouldn't have imagined. I'm full time in the military, so my military family is huge, and it was inspiring the support that came. And I actually, to the point where I felt bad, because after we, walked the hospital several times, we were at Sanford for a few months, spent a lot of time there. We started seeing other families that were not necessarily getting the same outpouring. And I kind of started to feel bad that we had so much support and there was a lot of families that didn't. And I guess it caused me for concern, and that kind of sparked a foundation. But as far as coping with it, it's hard. He passed away this last January, January 9th of 2020, and it's very difficult. So I understand what those parents are going through. I don't expect thank yous. I don't expect callbacks. I don't expect any of that, because honestly, we're helping, families that need it, and it's tough.
It certainly is. Thaddeus, let's move back to the Stand By Me Foundation. For folks listening out there today who might be moved, not only to give some things on the National Day of Giving, Give to the Max on Thursday, but if they'd like to maybe donate to your organization specifically and directly, how can folks find out more?
We've been working pretty hard. So we're out on Facebook. So it's Together We Stand With Them, but it's also labeled Stand By Me Foundation. Look me up. I'm out there. I'll point you in the right direction. I mean, checks are the easiest way. We've set up something with PayPal. It kind of works. I don't like using it because there's a lot of organizations that take money right off the top, and I want to make sure the dollars are going directly to families. So checks are the best way to send to our organization. Contact me. That's the best way. But the GiveMinnesota.org, that is a big site, and we're out there. We're listed. You just search for Stand By Me Foundation. You'll pull us up, and then donate.
I was just going to ask, folks do go to the GiveMN.org site. They can find your organization and make sure that money goes specifically to you guys, correct?
Correct.
Okay. We're going to take a break here. Thaddeus is also a school board member in Frazee, and we're going to come back in part 2 and find out what's going on in the Frazee School District. Stick around. Back with more Hodge Podge on this Tuesday, right after these.